Welcome to Morning Motivation with Go-Go
and Natasha.
We are back and we are so excited to hop into this amazing topic called Reframe Your Words.
Woo!
Wow. And we're hopping right into it. Usually we have a little warm-up, but we hopping right into it because I just want to hit on something that we were just talking about before the show started. So, Natasha, you have certain dietary restrictions and you don't eat certain things because they don't agree with you, correct?
You could frame it that way. Yes, you could frame it that way. Or you could frame it as I'm allowed to eat these things.
Exactly. We're doing an example. And that's reframing your words. So there's so many different types of self-stuff. And what happens in our bodies, when our bodies are not in agreement with certain things, they will tell us. They will let us know, hey, I don't like this. This is not working for me. Mm-hmm. You will feel it and you will react a certain way. And so you then have to reframe what it is that you put inside your body so that you can live in harmony. And that's what happens with our words. Our words, we speak out certain things and then it creates these situations, circumstances, and consequences of what we're saying. And our body, when your body is hurting, you can feel it immediately when it's hurting and it's not in alignment. It takes a moment for when you are speaking out things for it to come back to you. And so then what happens is you're not able to fully pinpoint where this thing came from. But really it came from you saying something about yourself to yourself and created a world in which that existed. Wow.
Come on. Just bringing it's like there's like flames shooting out of his microphone right now.
Yes. And we have to reframe our words. Just like everyone knows, if you're trying to lose weight, you adjust your diet to things that is going to help that goal. If you want a more positive life, you then have to speak more positively to yourself. And it's really that simple. And it's really in the moment, small things such as, this thing is expensive. That term or that thing may seem like that's not, a bad thing. You look at a price and you know how much money is in your bank account and you've now decided that this thing is expensive. You've now put yourself in this mode of this thing is outside of my realm of achievement. It's expensive. You're putting weight on it. It's expensive. If you looked at a pencil and you said someone said this thing is expensive, you're like, no, it's not. So what's the difference between that and this other object? It's all in your mind. You've decided that this thing is expensive, so it is. Yeah, it may be a certain amount of money that may not be in your bank account. That doesn't mean it's expensive, because if someone can look at that same thing and say, oh no, that's not expensive. It's all about how we see things. And it's not about fooling yourself into saying, okay, I'm going to buy this thing. But what it is about changing your relationship with the things around you. Because something is $100, you saying it's expensive or you saying it's cheap doesn't change the fact that it's $100.
That's the value of this item.
Yeah.
Right.
And really it's about changing those things, because a lot of times in the mirror, you can say something to yourself, I don't look good today. That right there has just set you up for the rest of your day. And now you're going to be put into circumstances, situations, and be surrounded by events that will make you feel like you don't look good today. Because that is what you framed. You framed that for your day. So we are getting to a space of we are reframing the words we say to ourselves so that we can have a more positive outlook in our life and in our day. And that's what it's about.
Yes. Like you said, starting in that mirror in the morning, how are you speaking to yourself when you see yourself in the morning?
Right.
Because those words will ring throughout the rest of your day.
Exactly.
What do you want that to be? You have the choice. You have the choice. I recently came across an exercise, Go-Go, where the practitioner was asking us to write 5 things that we loved about ourselves in a little journal, and then speak at least 2 of those to ourselves in the mirror every morning. And I did that. I did that for like maybe about a month. Not every single day, but I started getting more into it. And then as I started to enjoy the benefit of that, I automatically find myself going to this journal because it's a habit now. It's like a new habit, right? New positive habit loop. And so what I found is that my mind was more uplifted after just saying, a couple things. Hey, I love this about you, Natasha, right? I love this about you. And it doesn't have to be anything about the way I looked. It could be also about who you are, like your personality or things that you do, the way that you do certain things. It's like, I like that about you. I love this about you. And that is a way of reframing your relationship with yourself in the mirror as well.
That's it right there. And what just came to mind is this really cool analogy. When you are on your way to somewhere and you have two different paths to get there, and one path, this road over here is not paved, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to be rocky, it's not going to be an enjoyable journey, you will still get to the destination. And this other path, pavement is smooth, there's trees all around, and you can go that way and still get to your destination. A lot of times we are still going to get to the end of our day, but it's about which way we want to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to choose the bumpy path of negative self-talk, or do I want to choose a positive path of positive self-talk? It is our choice. And you're going to get to the end of the day, and how you got there is totally up to you, because situations and circumstances are going to happen, period. How you frame them in your mind is how they affect you. Period. That's it. Do you want the bumpy path, or do you want the smooth one? Life does not have to be hard. It can be easy if we reframe our minds. Even that of like what's hard, what's easy, that's subjective. Is what you say is hard, is what you say is easy. I even feel people bumping up against that just in the atmosphere. It's like, wait, but this is happening, but this is happening, but I have to pay bills. Yes, you have to do all those things. It's true.
I know, I'm raising my hand.
But wait, all these things. There's a super cool task to help you with reframing your words, kind of reframing your world. And this comes from a book called The Secret. I didn't create it. It's not mine. They said when you get a bill, you open up that bill, you look at it, and you give thanks for this bill because it is providing something for you. When you get that electricity bill, you open it up and look at it, and you give thanks to those people that are working to keep your electricity on, which is powering your home. That's how you change your whole relationship with your bills. Because if you are getting charged for something, which means you are receiving something, because why then would you pay for something and not be receiving anything? Right? There's a reason why you're paying for that thing, because it is doing something to your life that is enhancing your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't be paying for it.
I'm telling you, I'm being dragged along in the undertow of this conversation. Like I'm up here raising my hand in my mind going, oh, so many things going on that I would just be like, yes, exactly. That's it. This is it. Oh my gosh. But that one about the bills, I remember that from The Secret. That was one of the most powerful, life-changing ones for me in reframing my words around the services that I receive, right? It's changing that. And I started to envision the people who are working to provide those services for me and all the benefit, this money that I am gladly now giving in appreciation of this service and what it is going towards. Is going towards paying for their children to eat, be clothed, put a house over their heads. It's helping them, and it's helping my community as well.
Absolutely. Ooh. Listen, you just hit on something that you don't even know you've hit on.
What I hit on?
Here's an example of reframing your words, because a lot of people have a negative connotation with the word bill. I have to pay my bill. So instead of saying I have to pay my bill, you can then say, I have an appreciation payment to make. I just want to throw this pen and just hit this table. That is speaking to me. I have an appreciation payment to make. How does that even feel to you? That's something new. I've not even said that before till today, because Natasha, she said it and I brought it together. I have to make some appreciation payments. Or who do I have to appreciate? Who do I need to appreciate for this?
That wasn't my idea either entirely. So the place that I got that was from Busting Loose from the Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld. Great book. And that's where I learned about the appreciation, reframing as appreciation. And I believe that's where I got that. I can say that we're both expanding our minds constantly with material that is self-help. I don't know if you would call it self-help.
Yeah,
it's empowering.
It's definitely in that self-help framework for sure. Yeah, those appreciation payments. And that's how we make those changes. Another thing that people always say all the time is, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. We all have the same amount of time in the day. You know, you and Oprah and Kim Kardashian and Barack Obama, we all have the same amount of time in the day. What is it that you're doing with that time? And one thing that you have to come to honesty with is, oh, I don't have enough time for that. No, really is, I'm not making time for that. I've decided not to make time for that thing. And it is okay to make that decision. I've decided not to make time for that thing because now you're taking ownership again. And you're not putting it off to some third party. Whenever I don't make my bed or something like that, I don't say, oh, I don't have enough time. It's like, oh, I didn't make time for that because it wasn't important enough to you. Because if it's important enough to you, you'll make the time.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Go. It's so interesting. That whole taking ownership of that decision making of saying about the time, that was one of my favorite phrases too. I don't have enough time, when it's actually, you had made a choice. You're making a choice, but you're not taking ownership for having made that choice. When you take the reins back, it can feel a little uncomfortable at first. So I understand there may be some hesitance to take the reins on that and wrangle back from that statement about time. Time was never in control. It was always you. But when you finally take back those reins and say, actually, I decide not to do this because it's not important to me in this moment, there is a change that will happen on a cellular level. And you won't go back to who you were before, I promise you. Yeah. You won't be able to, because you will have expanded. You will be a different person in that moment.
I love that. That's speaking to me. I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that. A lot of time, we have time and then we have tired. I'm tired of this situation. Then change the situation by changing how you view the situation. Because if you don't have the answer to a problem, know that the solution is out there, because problems are not created without solutions. Now, the answer to your problem may be something you're not ready to accept or receive, and that's okay. You can decide when you are ready to make that transition. But there is a solution to every problem. There is. I don't even call them problems anymore. I call them a solvable situation. How am I going to solve the situation? The situation of, I need more money in my life. The situation of, I want to book more work. The situation of, I want to be in a relationship. Whatever it is, how am I going to navigate that? And it starts with what's happening inside of you. I love this line. You cannot change an internal problem with an external solution.
That's it. That's it. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Mine's explosion emoji over here, explosion of mind to the roof. I was going to hop in on something that you had said a moment ago, and I'm just like, my brain's all over the place, so I can't, I can't even say.
Spiking up everywhere, like, pew, 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 pew. Look, I came in like, they say shots fired, or I came ready. I came ready, all right?
So tell me what you just said, because like literally my mind is like blown.
You cannot change an internal problem with an external solution. You got to go inside. There's so much talk about, The Secret talks about it, and they talk about how anything that has happened in your life, seemingly good or bad, is because of choices that you've made or not made, basically. And I'm paraphrasing. They say it a lot more eloquently in there. And so when you realize that you've created the world that you're in, like the world around you, the circumstances around you, you've created that by your actions or your inaction. And so then it's like, if you want a different outcome out there, what is your income in here? Oh, hello.
I'm telling you, there was a soundbite before that. That was it. It's a solvable. What were you saying about?
A solvable situation.
It's not a problem. It's a solvable situation. I'm going to lay it down right here. I've laid down the truth of the situation.
Lay it down.
I have the propensity to be a person that can revert into a victim mentality. And in that victim mentality, I get to say, this is an insolvable situation. This is a problem, and it's beyond my control, right? It wasn't by choice. It wasn't like a thing where I came in, I went, you know what? I'm going to be in a victim mentality. Nobody comes into the world and says, I want to be in a victim mentality. Sometimes things happen that are very destructive to your view of the world, and it can be very challenging. Understandable. But I reached a point in my life where I said, you know what? This is no longer serving me, and I would like to change this. I don't know how to change it yet, but I'm going to take the steps I need to take to figure out how to start solving some of these problems, because I want to make a change. And I think that's a key moment, right? Where you have to reach that point for yourself where it's no longer acceptable to you.
Yeah.
It's just no longer acceptable. And you might not be able to solve it in that minute. And that's okay. But just, I love that, Gogo, in saying that this is a solvable situation. That kernel, that's like a glimmering little shining pebble that you can hang on to in that dark moment, wherever you are. If you feel that you're in a very dark place, that can literally save your life, knowing that this is a solvable situation. It is. People do have the answers. They have solved it for themselves. I personally pulled myself back from the edge of my darkness. I was literally going to dive down into the deepest possible place you could go, which is the point of no return. And having just a glimmer of knowing this is solvable pulled me back. This is powerful stuff we're talking about. This isn't just motivate you, pump you up. This is save your life stuff we're talking about too.
Yeah. Yes. Save your mind and save your life. That's it right there. It's these types of moments when you make the different choice points that change the trajectory of your life. It's those moments that when we make those decisions of, this is no longer serving me, this is no longer acceptable, I have to move in a different direction. I have to. And sometimes it's trial and error. You don't have all the answers, but you know that what you're doing isn't working. So I will try something else. I will ask for help. I will reach out to other people and see and get some advice. I'm gonna read some books. I love getting information. Knowledge is power, because if you don't have the answers within you, then go search and go look for other ways. There's so much material out there for us to make those decisions and make those changes so we can move on to the next level. It's what we're doing on a daily basis that is creating our life. When you say to yourself, you look beautiful, and you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see whatever you see, but you say you look beautiful, you already, your cells, like you said, your cells are speaking and hearing that, you might feel just a little bit better, because it's not that you look beautiful or saying I look beautiful on day one. It's when you get to day 21 where you might, things might be looking a little bit different. If you have the consistency to keep the change happening, that's when you see a difference.
Yes.
Getting gas for your car one day and then not getting gas ever again, what's going to happen? You're going to run out of gas. So telling yourself that you look beautiful one day and not ever telling yourself that again is you're going to forget about it. You won't believe that it's there anymore because you're not getting that input again. What is your income that's going inside of you to get a different outcome on the outside of you?
I wish everybody could see what's going on inside this space here, because Gogo is literally, there's fountains of wisdom flowing around him. I can see it. Like, it's just flowing. He's in the flow. He's in the flow right now. And I love it. income, what income is going to be creating your different outcome. It is about the consistency, and it comes back to this wonderful topic of reframing your words. They are literally what we're consuming in our lives. The words that we are giving to our life is consuming that for us, right? And saying, okay, you said I'm going to get this job. I'll get this job or another one better. Yes, I will do that, right? Or on the other hand, if you say, there's no way I can get this job,
Ooh.
okay, we won't get this job.
Yeah.
Right?
Because words create sentences. Sentences create paragraphs. Paragraphs create moments. And moments create momentum.
I just got blown back, like all the way back into the full fireball coming out. Full fireball coming through my screen. Woo! Oh my gosh, I love this episode so much. Oh, this is good. I hope y'all are enjoying this as much as we are.
Them gems is dropping like Candy Crush, all right?
Oh boy, Candy Crush. Listen, wait, there was an idea. Okay, so at the beginning, we were saying, okay, it's as simple as changing our words, right? Simple, right?
Right.
But I do want to just add in the possibility of it's simple, but it might not be easy all the time, because it is simple and it's meant to be, because it's the truth. Anything that's the truth is always going to be simple. It's going to be to the point. It's either this or that. It's not all these other things in between. It's the truth, one or the other. That's it. The simple truth is, when you reframe your words, things will change for the better in your life, especially if you're speaking positive words into your life, right? But it might not always be easy, especially if we've been in the habit of speaking negatively to ourselves. And for the vast majority of us, this is going to be the case, because we are receiving from outside, where we're ingesting so many negative influences, either from the entertainment we watch, perhaps the people we hang around, what music we're consuming, all those things we're consuming, they're finding a place in our mind, and also in the way that we talk to ourselves every day. That's been conditioned from before we even knew how to talk. Some of these things, we don't have any sort of recollection of where we got these habits of how we talk to ourselves, how we perceive ourselves. And it will take some awareness. First of all, do you like the way you're talking to yourself? Do you like the way these things are going? What might need to change? And then realizing, hey, this is a habit. This is actually a habit, and habits are baked into your neural pathways. Okay, this isn't something that you can go, snap, neural pathway change. It can, but you have to, like what Gogo was sharing, we say these things consistently.
Right.
When we're refeeding, we're retraining the system to go into the direction we would like. If it's more positive, we're going to reframe those words, and do it consistently. And the easiest way is to keep listening to programs like these, where we're telling you, hey, you're on the right track. Just keep going down this track and don't stop.
I mean, the fact that whoever is listening to this, you found this podcast, whether someone sent it to you, you decided, you made a decision to listen to it and to listen to this episode, because we have a lot of episodes out there. And the fact that you're in this moment with us, you're on a certain path already. You're already getting that your income has changed already. And so those differences will start to happen as you consistently stay on this journey.
I think we took them on a whole journey all the way everywhere. It's just wow.
Yes. This was a wow episode, and wow, thank you for listening. Thank you all for being here. This has been another episode of Morning Motivation with
Gogo
and Natasha.